Network to the world. Subscribe now to the Hot 97 YouTube channel. It's Ebro in the Morning with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
It's Ebro, Laura Rosenberg. Give it up. Conway The Machine is here. New album.
Yo.
God Don't Make Mistakes. Rosenberg, you was
Yes,
in the
sir.
building at the listening.
Was I?
Talk to us.
Everyone was in the building. You know, like I'll say it in public. What I said, Conway, when I saw you, like it was a real showing of force out there at that listening. You know, like it was. I've barely been out the house in 3 years, so I know for me, it was like, well, Conway means something. I want to be there. And man, when I got to the room, I saw a lot of New York felt the same way. Man, how did it feel to see that much love for your big Shady release listening?
Man, it felt amazing, you know what I mean? Just to see, you know, to know that you get that kind of, you know, that embrace and that acceptance from, you know, dudes that's just from the from New York City. You know, everybody know this the Mecca. So, you know what I mean? To get that kind of love and embrace and just to see everybody in the building to help celebrate, you know what I mean? What I'm about to release, man, it felt amazing. I ain't gonna lie.
And you also gave a great speech, and happy belated because it was your birthday as well. And
thank you.
You got on the mic and you said, I found it really inspiring. You were like, yo, I'm 40 years old. People say it's impossible, that you have to be 22, 23, 24 years old to become hot in this game, but you guys stuck with it. And here you are now at 40, and you're in the best spot you've ever been in. I never heard you sort of verbalize it that way, but was that scary for you as the years were rolling on? Did you think you would potentially miss the window?
Yeah, of course. You know what I mean? Again, like, you know, I had a lot of self-doubt, you know, as I started getting older, like, especially once I kind of like got like hit my 30, maybe my late 20s, but once I got like 30, 31, I was just kind of thinking like, yeah, it's probably, you know, it's probably going to be a little more difficult now. I'm going to have to, if I do it, I'm going to have to kind of do it myself on an indie tip, you feel me? But, you know what I mean? Like, for me to be dropping my debut release like at 40, you know what I mean? I feel like that should be inspiring to a lot of artists who may have gave up their dream and just fell back and, you know what I mean, threw the towel in and, you know, went and got a forklift driving job or something, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I hope I showed people something, man, you know what I'm saying?
You also, it should be, I think, a part of this convo, while being 40, that's a part of the story. I think the work leading into this moment is also a big part of that story because you have been relentless. You and your compadres, Gun and Benny the Butcher, over the last 7-8 years. How many different projects, whether you call them album, mixtapes, EPs, whatever you call them, how many different projects?
Man, I know I got over 20.
See?
At least over 20 since about 2015. I got about 20 projects.
And that should be a part of this story too. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't like you just kicked back and waited for it to, you know, come to you. You went out here and got after it.
100%. You know what I mean? You know, you got to believe in yourself, man. I just knew, like, man, it'll work better for us if we did something that nobody really doing. I was just analyzing like the way, you know, people was consuming music at the time. You know what I mean? Like, you know, with the streaming stuff, like people be kind of over an album in like the first week. Like we'll get it that Friday or whatever, and then we kind of waiting to download something else, you know, Monday or Tuesday. So I just knew, like, man, if I could just keep mashing the gas and keep them, you know, keep my fans fed and keep my fans excited for more and more new stuff, then, you know, I would be kind of like moving a little more faster than the rest of the industry as far as like releases and stuff while you know, these cats are sitting back at home hugging a pillow. We in the stool, we at Darren's house, you know, getting to it, you know what I mean? And dropping it immediately type in time. So, you know what I mean? I thought that was just a brilliant strategy for the way we had to give it up, being that we was older, being that we was coming from a city where, you know, ain't nobody really tapped into all like that. You know what I'm saying? So we just looked at it as a strategy for us, but, you know, that's how you got to do sometime, man. You gotta go crazy with it. When you get an opportunity, you got to be in the gym all the time. It's like when you get drafted in the NBA, you're gonna stay in the gym. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Till 6 in the morning, you're gonna put up extra shots. You know what I mean? Extra time in the weight room. That's all we was doing.
Love it.
And as a result, you guys were ready when the phone call came for that Donda feature, which
100%.
turned out to be one of my favorite spots on the album, by the way. And I don't know how you felt about it, Con, but for me, as someone who is a hardcore fan and supporter of all of your guys' music, I did enjoy hearing you guys on something that was a little more melodic and musical, and I thought you guys really shined on that. Tell us about your thoughts on that, if you did think it was a little bit different for you guys, and how you thought it turned out.
Yeah, I definitely number one, I definitely thought it was a little different because again, like you said, like I never really like did musical work on those type of production. You know what I'm saying? Where it's kind of melodic, it's kind of singing on the hooks and all that. It was kind of new, and then the message in the music was kind of new too. I was out there uh, actually writing that song for Kanye. That's what I was under impression that he flew me out there like, yo, this is the joint I want you to write for me. So my verses, was kind of like tailored. I had two verses I wrote on there. It was kind of tailored like for him to say, and that's why it was so short too. You know what I mean? It was just like a couple. That's what he wanted. You know what I mean? So. And then come to find out, Ye kind of like, man, spur of the moment with stuff. He like, you know what, man, I'm going to just, man, y'all Griselda, I'm going to just leave you on there saying what you said. I'm going to just, throw gun on there and, you know what I'm saying? And I'll get on there at the end. And it kind of turned out like that. But I really wish that I could have had a chance to, record my verse over. And had I known that I was going to be like a featured artist on there, I would have went a little crazy. You know what I mean? But I'm thankful
all the way around.
It turned out.
Good
It
looking, yeah. You heard?
All the way around.
Now,
Yo, I want to get that joint off that Kanye on, but I want to play also your first single off of the God Don't Make Mistakes, which I believe was the John Woo flick. Is that the first single?
No, it's the second one. First
single.
single's Piano Love. This is the second single, John Woo.
And Piano Love is the Alchemist joint.
Right.
Yeah. Well, let's get that John Woo flick on, and then when we come back, I've been Conway may be tired of me talking about it, but I think there's a work in place here with this whole Griselda. He ain't on Griselda, and the contract's up, et cetera, et cetera. Free agency talk. I think we being worked. They're playing with our emotions. Y'all keep it here. Conway's on right now. Ebro, Laura, and Rosenberg. Now, Conway, the God Doesn't Make Mistakes album is considered your first official Shady release.
Right, absolutely. My first release on a major.
That's pretty.
By the way, how did this work out? Like, correct me if I'm wrong, Con, but didn't you and Gunn have deals at Shady, and now Gunn is off of Shady and you stayed, correct?
It ain't really necessarily I stayed. It's like the way we had our deals was we had our deals for an album each, a solo album each and a group album. Okay. With us together. So, what was Shane gonna do is like the album for us together, like our group album. And then Wes already dropped Who Made the Sunshine. That was his Shady debut.
Oh, that was the end of his deal.
Then that was the end of his deal and his contractual obligations, and then I still have my album left. But what took so long, kind of with my album too, as well, is it was a lot of behind the scenes stuff and back and forth and stuff that I really I don't even feel comfortable speaking on because I wasn't there and I don't know the intentions or the energy behind any of those conversations with them. You know what I mean? With Wes and Shady Records. You know what I'm saying? But and plus it was not only that, I had like a lot of my album, I had a lot of samples and stuff that I had to get played over, and
that's
it was
what
just
I was
always
hearing
a lot of hiccups.
It
was sample clearances. It was just one thing after another. Like we had to take care of this, and then now sometimes the producer might have co-producers and they don't agree to the terms, and it was just a whole bunch of back and forth. So we finally got everything tied up, and that's why mine's coming out now. So that's why it seemed like you know, Conway still Shady Records. He stayed along, but it's like, nah, I just got a little business to finish up over there left. That's all.
And that leads us, Ebro, to the free agents deal being with that deal being done with the release. That means you are technically completely free label wise right now.
Yeah, I'm free as a bird.
And it's max contract time. You're saying?
Django, man. Call me Django, man. A free man.
Conway, I'm looking at your track list right now. Tell me about Chanel Pearls featuring Jill Scott.
Oh man, that's a beautiful record right there, and I definitely gotta thank Jill Scott, man, for coming in the clutch for me like that. I reached out, I sent her the joint, she loved it, she got on there, and you know, she called me like a couple days later, was like, yo, I know, is you okay with this? I'm about to send you this. I want to know if you was okay with it. This is just what inspired me. I wanted to rap. First, she asked me like what kind of stuff, like asked me about my neighborhood and how I grew up and my city and all that. You know what I'm saying? And then she sent me the song and she like rapping on that. You know what I mean? She like going crazy. I'm like, wait a minute, what? She like, yeah, you inspired me to I wanted to rap. I didn't even want to come on there singing and all. You know what I mean? So it's like she on there spitting an incredible verse, and I couldn't believe it. And I'm just, man, it's dope. It's an honor to work with Jill. We got some more stuff too, but that's one of my favorite records on the whole tape.
She got that. She'll get to the bars. People forget her from early poetry and all that other stuff that she was doing. She gets to it.
No, she's incredible.
God Don't Make Mistakes.
Yeah.
Tell us about that title and what that means to you at this point in your career.
It's just self-explanatory to me, man. It's just like, you know, I became something. I became more than I fathomed, you know, more than I seen at the time when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? I went from king to a god. You feel me? God don't make mistakes, man. I had a lot of trials and, you know what I mean, and tribulations on this journey. You know what I'm saying? And everything I went through, you know what I'm saying? Me getting shot, my face being paralyzed and all that. It was for that. It was on purpose. Like I needed to go through that. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? God don't make mistakes. I'm where I'm supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Debut release.
The title track is actually produced by your brother Alchemist. Y'all have cooked up and made magic many times before. I think we should get that track. The album's out right now. God Don't Make Mistakes. This is the title track. Conway and Alchemist. Y'all pay attention to this, man. It's Ebro, Laura Rosenberg, Conway, man. We appreciate you always pulling up, man, and showing the show love.
You know it, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you for having me. You know, it's love, man.
And listen, so Conway, you still owe me a Summer Jam performance. So next year we might have to run this back, my brother.
That's right. The weather took a shit on the
God
whole
don't
plan.
make mistakes, and apparently God said we're not getting that concert last year.
Right, I said that was crazy. I was looking forward. I was excited for that, man.
Now we'll run it back, man. We appreciate you, bro.
No question.
It is. Conway, go get that new album, God Don't Make Mistakes. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Love, G.
Love, man.
Love.
Peace, Con.